And we have none other than Byron Bundy. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Okay, my man, sorry. Has anybody ever told you too long funny? Are you doing an intro on me? What's going on, y'all? Hey, it's another episode of Plain and Simple.
Cool Steve, damn you! We do this every time, bro.
I know.
We don't do it every time with the intro. You a chopper, man. Right.
Okay. What's going on, y'all? It's the Plain and Simple Show, and we have none other than Byron Bundy in the spot today. We're going. You start out, bro. Start out.
What? I'll be rolling it.
We good? We just gonna keep running?
Nah, I'm gonna start over. I have to catch them. Alright, come on.
What's good, y'all? It's the Plain and Simple Show. It's your boy Gramattyk.
It's your boy Reckless.
And we have none other than Byron Bundy in the house, sports agent, music manager. The man does it all. He's an entrepreneur. He's a mogul in the making, you know what I mean? So we just had him on the show today, tell you a little bit about what he does, get his perspective on the music industry, get his perspective on the Midwest music industry, and what it's like to be on the business side of things, because we talk a lot to the artists, but a lot of times we don't get a chance to talk to the people behind the scenes. So Byron, tell me a little bit about what you do on both sides, on music and in sports.
Oh, that's an intro. I like that. I do whatever it takes, man. I mean, that's, if I had to define it in a couple words, is whatever it takes. I work with the singer REASN. I manage like 6 professional basketball players. I've been an agent for 5 years now. I've been in the music industry for about 5 years now. Just doing whatever it takes to get the guys to success, you know.
I feel that. So when you say you manage some professional basketball players, but not quite NBA players, can you elaborate a little bit, let the viewers know exactly what that means?
Yeah, I mean, it's a process. So as an agent, you try to identify talent. And as a younger agent, you want to identify talent that other people may not see. So with the guys, like my first client, Tyler Stone, he was a guy who played at Mizzou, went to SEMO, and kind of slid under the radar, but he was really, really good, and I knew that. So, signing him, we had, NBA workouts, we had summer league, he had a chance of getting drafted. Didn't get drafted, did his thing in the summer league, and we ended up taking a really good job in Europe, So he's getting his bread over in Europe,
nice.
And my other clients, kind of took a similar path, where it's a shot at the NBA, but not quite there yet, And Tyler may come back,
Nice.
He's performing really well right now in Israel, so that's what it is.
That's what's up. So continuing on the sports thing, so you do mostly basketball, or is it only basketball right now?
Yeah, it's only. I mean, I work with some football guys. I connect them with people. I'm like a connector, but I don't personally represent any football players.
So with the basketball, because I have a couple homies from back home that went overseas. So what is the likelihood? Because I don't know much about like how hard it is to go from one league to the other. So what's the likelihood of a guy that goes overseas and just blows up, being able to come back over here and really make a mark in the league? Because I know they're very different as far as exposure and talent level.
I mean, it happens,
Yeah.
but it's just, it's all about circumstances and who needs what and what relationships do you have. As an agent, like what relationships do I have where I can call and say, yo, Tyler's playing really well right now. Right. You guys should check him out. Bring him in for summer league. And if he performs, that's all it comes down to is your performance. Like, if you can't hoop on the highest level, you can't hoop on the highest level, So the chances aren't great, and the chances of even going overseas aren't great. And guys think that it's sweet.
They do think it's very easy. If they don't think they make it to the league, they think that it's
sweet, bro. And it's just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
And there's 8 million dudes that can hoop. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you that much different? You know what I'm saying? Like, guys from small schools, guys from, small D1s, D2s, NAIAs, it's like, bro, like, nah.
And you used to play ball yourself. So you know the experience.
I dabbled. Yeah.
Dibble and dabble?
I dabbled.
Yeah.
Nah, I hooped. I thought the same thing. Like, I'm going to go to the league. Then I was like, okay, I'm not going to the league. I'm going to go overseas. You know? But I got hurt. So it's like, my dreams got crushed early. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, I gotta adjust. You know what I mean? But I've seen it firsthand, like how good you actually have to be to go over there and make money. You want to go to, you know, Iceland and make $1,500 a month, and you know what I'm saying, like playing some BS league. You can.
Is that how much? Is that minimum, or are you just throwing out?
I mean, that's just dudes getting paid less than that. Like it's some
when they
dudes
go overseas.
Like, some dudes that come back, they got a pair, you know, overseas shorts and a jersey. They try to like stunt, like bro, you're broke. You know, you're working another job. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you're wherever, and you're a part-time, you know, gym coach and a hooper. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing wrong. I'm not mad at it. It's just like, you know, people think it's really sweet. Like, I'll just go overseas. No, you won't. You can. I just can't rock with it.
So, so how important is it for these athletes to have an agent to make the successful jumps?
Oh, you got to. I mean, in Europe, for sure. I mean, if you're like a LeBron could have been his own agent. Right. He's just going to get drafted. He's going to get his money. But for everybody else, it's like those relationships and having somebody looking out for you. A lot of these guys are just hoopers, man. They don't know the business side. There's a whole business to this part of like side of the game that they just don't know. They're just hoopers. So you need somebody to focus on your business, you know. And overseas, so you can focus on on hoop. Yeah. If you have a guy who wants to go overseas, he's just not gonna know who to call. You know what I mean? Like there's no way. Right. There's dudes still like they pay like $250 to go to a tryout, like a Euro tryout. Man, they're just taking your bread usually, unless you have somebody that plugs you in. And the scouts is gonna be there. It's just like you're wasting your time. You know?
So one of the questions that I always had about playing overseas, because there were guys that would come back home, you know, during the off season and stuff that did make it over there, and they would tell me like, oh, they put me up, like they give me the house, you know what I'm saying? They give me like a team vehicle so I can drive around, like. So they paying me less, but I don't have to pay for basically anything. Oh yeah,
I mean it's a
so like is the gig overall a good gig? Because I mean, so. You know what I'm saying? Like you balling. Like
if I stayed healthy and they offer me 60 racks to go hoop, I'm going. Cause like your car, your house, your food, everything's paid for. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You can bring that bread back. Like the taxes aren't the same on it, so it's like you're not getting hit like you would get hit in America. And you're playing ball and getting paid for it. Like people are working 60 hours a week to make $60,000. You know what I'm saying? Like so if I can make 60 and go hoop, I'm doing it all day.
Now I do want to kind of get into something. I think you're rumored as the Jerry Maguire of Columbia. Is this correct? And if so, can you elaborate the story?
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean. Bro, I've just been grinding, bro. Yeah, like, that's really what it is. Like I've grinded. I've worked for the big agencies. You know, I've done everything. If you watch Jerry Maguire, I've kind of been through that story. You know, where it's like you work for the man, and the man has a way of doing things. You don't agree with those ways, and you kind of do your own thing. And that's kind of where I'm at now. So, will I really be Jerry Maguire? We'll see in April. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. If this season goes how I want it to go, like, that's a fair statement because I'll have the big client, you know what I mean, and we'll be he'll be screaming, "Show me the money!" Right, and so will I. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be a real like Hollywood story almost. You know, my whole journey. You know?
And I also want to get into let's talk a little bit more about the NBA. And there's what do you think about Adam Silver? Rumors mill saying that he might end the one and done in college. He stopped it with high school, so I think the last players we had were like Kobe, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire. Yeah. So I think the next move is for players to stay in college a little bit more.
If they do that, it's gonna be it'll be 2 years, or you can come out of high school. So
you think they're gonna go back to high school?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like MLB, where like you can either go straight to the league, or you have to stay in college.
Or you have to stay in college a certain amount of time. They're gonna give the guys who are worthy the shot to come out of high school. Or you're gonna stay for 2 years, if not longer. But that's the rumors, is 2 years or high school. So I like it. I mean, there's certain guys that don't have to go to college to be professionals. It just makes no sense to me. Like Ben Simmons didn't need to go to college. He didn't even take it seriously. So it's like, why? Why? And I think the D League could really do a lot of development from a standpoint of you could take a guy straight from high school and instead of going to college, you come to the D League. But you got to pay him. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes is getting paid more to go to college than they would in the D League. And that's just the facts.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
I mean, like, let's just be honest. Like, dudes is getting a bag to go to a certain school. As you see on ESPN, the FBI is investigating, like, I don't like it, but like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
dudes is getting paid. So it's like if the D League actually takes it seriously and wants to make their league something special, they'll start paying dudes for real, and you'll bring them straight from high school to the D League, and they'll develop for a year or two.
I think that would be a nice little process.
Yeah.
I mean, because my thing personally, I feel like
Exactly,
some people that do the one and done in college, I feel like if they had that extra year, they do a lot better. Like the number one pick, some number one picks in the NBA just bust.
Yeah, it's just the D League could be such a different development than it would be in college. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. You can't get the same experience working with NBA guys every day and being able to get called up and stuff like that. It's like the MLB.
Yeah,
like you start from, but they start from like the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
the NBA should be two levels. It'd be D League, NBA. So I mean, the teams are worth billions of dollars now. They could afford to give dudes a real salary to keep them from going overseas, which is what you see with the two-way contracts now. So they have a two-way contract where you can sign with a D League team and the NBA team, right? You're guaranteed $50,000 up to $75,000 if you only stay in the D League, right?
Okay.
And if you get called up, you get 45 days in the NBA. You can make up to $300,000. You know what I'm saying? Like that's enticing for a dude who was almost drafted.
Right.
So instead of just jumping overseas, you stay here. You know? But I think you can keep all the talent that the people like to watch, you know, during March Madness. You keep them in America, people will go watch that. If you actually pay them to stay, they'll stay. So
and it also creates markets because I know like Idaho has a D League team. Like that creates a market for the NBA because you see talent potentially going from that team to an NBA team. You get a fan base in those areas.
They ain't got
there's a lot of upside
Idaho.
to it.
Like there's nothing to do in Idaho, so you might as well go watch the dudes you watch in March Madness come hoop. So
But I do kind of want to switch gears a little bit because typically we talk a lot more about music and we try to stay away from sports. We don't want to be so cliche.
I be hearing y'all sports conversations.
Oh man!
Nah, man. I be wanting to comment. I'm like, look, man. I be on YouTube like, nah, don't do it.
Just do it. Just do it, man.
If you don't like something, you disagree, go ahead, drop a comment because I will rip you apart, bro. I know my stuff.
I should have watched the one I thought about before we came in so we could talk about it. But nah, go ahead.
But I wanted to get into a little bit about what you do as far as managing the REASN and if you do any other management or agent work with musicians other than just the REASN and like what that all entails, because a lot of people don't, we were talking about this on the very first episode, a lot of people don't know how many, you know what I mean, levers and how many different moving parts there are behind the scenes. And being behind the scenes, you probably see a lot more of that. And there's bags to be had outside of being the guy in the front. And people don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you would be the perfect person to come in and kind of shed some light on the things that go on behind the curtain. You know what I mean?
I mean, with REASN is, I mean, he's the only one I work with. And the only reason I even work with him, like, he's from Columbia. Like, we were boys before. And it fit, you know? Like, he needed somebody to fit a role, you know? And even that's just like our personal connection is what makes it so special because we understand each other on a different level to where I can kind of be his voice without him talking. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the business side of things, and that's hard to find, you know? And somebody that he trusts and I trust him. So, man, the music industry is so crazy. It's ridiculous. And, you know, there are bags to be had. And there are a lot of moving parts. Like, our team is, like, ever expanding. You know, it's not just me. You know, I'm not a sole anything. I don't know nothing about the music industry. When I jumped into this 4 or 5 years ago, it was my boy. He needed my help. I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And we've learned together. You know what I mean? We've learned so much. We've seen so much. We've grown together. But there's different people that have to do different things. And like, there's investors. There's managers. There's like talent agents, like your booking agents. Like, there's so many different people that are involved in this whole process that are essential to make it pop, especially if you're gonna do independent, which we are right now. It's like we're independent. You know, without a label, it's just kind of streamline everything for you. But with us, it's like we need everybody, whoever we can get. Oh, you do that? Okay. But we've also seen a lot of people come and go. It's like people talk about it. They're not about it, bro. Like people talk so much. But, you know, being in LA, you know, living there for a few years and being with him is like, you learn to identify that real quick. Like, you get to a point where like, okay, what you talking about? All right. And it's like, nah.
Like, as soon as you walk out the door.
As soon as you walk out, not rocking with buddy. You know what I'm saying?
So kind of tell us a little bit about, like, the REASN's work ethic. Like, and how it's different from, like, how do you get to the point I mean, I know you had the team, but
Yeah.
how do you get to the point to, you know what I mean,
Man.
where he's at now?
We got to the point we're at now based on his talent, man. Like, it wasn't, I'm nobody when I walk into a room without a dude that's that talented. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, I look at it like having a #1 draft pick.
Right.
Like, I have the #1 talented person at what he does. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to represent when you have that, right? But dude's work ethic is crazy. Like, and not even his work ethic, his patience. You know what I mean? Like, his patience and his grind and his will to win is unmatched. You know what I mean? And he's a unique talent. You won't hear nobody like him ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you can compare him, but it's like you won't find nobody that sounds like him. And he walks into the studio, the producer starts making a beat, and he freestyles all his songs.
I was about to get into that. I heard that he freestyled his stuff, so.
Like freestyle singing?
Yeah.
That's hard.
I've never seen him write a song.
Actually, he came on the radio show, and like literally I put him on the spot, freestyled, it was dope. Like,
That's hard.
Like,
So he can just riff like that.
His
like
creative process
pretty
is
much
crazy,
the Jay-Z,
bro. He'll
Jay-Z
hear it
of
and
R&B.
just like start just harmonizing.
Has he ever heard that? Like the Jay-Z of R&B?
Yeah. We've heard that from a couple of people, man. Like, he's a different type of talent, dude. So like, that's why he's at where he's at now. And I don't even think people really realize like where we at right now.
You guys are working with Michael Jackson's producers as well. Some people have produced for Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Tim Pierce is his guitarist. Actually, they were together last night. So Tim came through. He's got Grammys on top of Grammys, and he kind of like went through and like did some live like guitar riffs on some of the songs that we have for the album, and it's just, I mean, people don't even understand, bro. Like, it's a different level. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'm in a room, I'm just like, damn, how the hell did we get here? Like, how did this happen?
Right.
You
I
know
mean, some of the famous people that you've met along the way. Like, I can't remember, you guys were in the studio with a producer from Atlanta. I think he produced for Sierra. I can't think of his name.
Jazzy
Faye,
Jazzy.
Didn't you, when y'all playing a track for Jazzy Faye or something like that?
Jazzy lost his mind when he heard that track.
Yeah, what track was it?
What was it?
Because I know Killer
We
is
played
one
him
of...
a few. We played Killer. We played some of the old stuff. I think we played 1 or 2 new songs, and Jazzy just lost it, bro. And like then Jazzy's like try to like, you know, show off for us a little bit. So he played some new stuff that he got. And it was like, REASN, you need to sing this, not me. And Jazzy's talented, bro.
Super
like,
talented.
Oh my God, like that dude, he can really sing. Like, he can actually really sing, bro.
But why is he? I haven't heard him sing before.
All I hear
like,
is Jazzy Fizzle.
Yeah,
That shizzle.
yeah,
that dude
That's the only
can
thing I ever
sing,
heard him
bro.
say.
Yeah.
He can sing, he can write, like, and he can produce. Like, dude's crazy. Like, he had one song, we're like, okay, this would be perfect for REASN, but it hasn't worked out yet. I mean, this game is so difficult, fam. Like, it's never as easy as what you think it's gonna be.
So, going off that point, I want to kind of get something that the viewers can take home with them if they're an aspiring musician or something like that. So, would you say that you have one tip as far as like something that you would have never guessed is something that you needed to be doing if you're trying to go from making songs in your bedroom to making songs in a studio in LA with Michael Jackson's guitarist? Like, what's the one thing that they don't know that they need to be doing? Because everybody thinks they know. Like, all I got to do is put it on here. All I got to do is get it on Spotify. All I got, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's
Quit
that?
thinking you know everything. Number one.
Right.
Quit thinking you know. And the biggest thing to me would be to take the risk. You know what I mean? Like, be willing to be uncomfortable for a little bit. For a long time.
So when you say that, like, moving out to LA or something like that?
Get out of Colombia. Every Colombia rapper, move.
See?
If you want to, like...
We're trying to discourage that, man. We're trying to tell
Why?
people you can do what you need to do from the Midwest. You
cannot.
can't do that.
Who? Where? Show me. Who? Tech?
9, Nelly,
Name somebody else.
Chance.
Nelly signed a record label, a deal though. And
So you're saying that if you're gonna do an indie,
but he
you
stayed in
have
St.
to.
Louis, though.
Nelly didn't stay in St. Louis, bro. Nelly was in LA. Nelly had, I know his old manager. It's not like that, bro. It's not that sweet. Like, it's not sweet.
Yeah.
You gonna keep making records in your basement with your homies and going to Good Vibes 21, and it's gonna be Good Vibes 21. Like, it is what it is. Like, no disrespect. Bentley does a great job with the shows he does, and Bentley he's really one of the most talented dudes that I know. I think he could be great.
Yeah.
But it's taking that extra risk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you
being
think,
extra unsafe.
If you had to give a message to Bentley right now, you think he needs to move from Arizona
to LA
to
right
LA?
now.
You hear that? You heard it here first. Fuego, my guy.
He'll make, but it's not
LA,
even just
let's
Bentley.
make the
Like,
move.
Bentley's understood that captivating that your home base, he did that to a T. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed
so once he gets out there, he'll be able to tap into that market.
You use your market, right? And you build your market, right? Which is what Nelly did. And you can get discovered. It's a lot easier to get, so you got SoundClouds, you got internets, all that stuff. I get that, bro. But like, until you see the ins and outs of what's going on, where music is really happening, which is in LA, you know, New York. I don't know nothing about New York, so I can't speak on Atlanta. Until you get into one of those markets, and then you see, because it's just like, it's just different, bro. Right. Because when you try to do good vibes, and I'm just using that as an example. Right. When you try to do good vibes in LA, and 4 people show up, you realize, oh, I got to do a whole lot more work. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to a showcase out there, where you think it's sweet because so-and-so's throwing it, and there's 10 people in the crowd, and you invited 4 of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, then you realize it's not like that.
So what's it take to throw a successful show like in LA or whatnot? I mean, and then
you don't. You just don't. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen at all?
It does not happen, bro. You have to be attached to someone else. Like, it has to be somebody else's production company. It has to be somebody who's established in LA. It has to be another established artist. Like, you can't, that's not how this works, bro. Like, you gonna be working the underground, like Harriet Tubman underground, like scene. That's what your scene is gonna be.
How do you think the artists in Texas are so successful then?
Who?
Like, the underground artists in Texas can pretty much sell.
Name me 5.
Let's see.
And not the old people. No, we're not talking about Bundy and them.
The old people?
Which is why I don't like when you say St. Louis and you say Nelly. And I don't like how you say Missouri. Like, Missouri, we say Nelly and Tech. Those are anomalies, man. You have to leave here. You know what I mean? Like, even with REASN, people don't even realize he's from here. And I feel like the people here don't even respect the fact of because they don't even realize what he's really doing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that.
They don't understand, like, the rooms that we're in, the tours we've been on. You know what I'm saying? Like the level of stuff that man is doing, no one here has seen it. And so when we give advice, and you don't follow it,
because they can't see it.
That's on you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Columbia is so frustrating to me. Even when you see talented people and they don't follow that advice, yo, we're not telling you this to toot our own horns, bro. We're telling you this because this is what we saw. Right. Because we went through it. We've been dragged through the mud.
Not too many people have made it out of Columbia.
They haven't, bro. And they don't.
I think REASN and Stevie Stone. Like,
did Stevie Stone make it? He's not making no money, man.
I mean, technically he's signed to Strange, so I mean he's doing tours and stuff. So
congrats to Stevie Stone, bro. Stevie Stone's not popping like that. Like, what you want to be? Leave Missouri and ask somebody about Stevie Stone.
That's true. No,
don't know who he is.
No disrespect, but like I never was.
Never. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just feel like dudes, I get kind of worked up about it because I just see like so much potential talent, but I see so many people thinking they know stuff that they don't know. You just don't know, bro. Like, until you've actually gone out there and done it, you just don't know. Until you've had to like eat shit, like, and really been shitted on and like not make it. Columbia is a sweet spot because you go do a show and people show up. You do good vibes and there's 500 people in there. That's sweet. That's dope.
Right.
Everybody's clapping, pat you on the back, like, good job. You killed. No. That's not gonna work. You're not popping like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no execs walking in here to sign you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not flying to Columbia, Missouri to come to good vibes. You know what I mean? Like, but now if Bent takes, this is an example, because I think he's really talented. Bent takes that same hustle and grind, puts it in LA, and is willing to, you know, we know he works. You know what I'm saying?
One of the hardest workers.
He'll get a job and be in the studio till 4 a.m. But he does that in the right setting. All it takes is one encounter, bro. All it takes is for Bent to be with me and REASN when we're with Ace Hood, you know, driving the Suburban, going to his show, and they start a cipher in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Go viral type deal, or
not even viral. Ace Hood can put you on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because he has those connections. He's been in those circles.
So when Ace is like, yo, B, you up? Nah, bro, I don't rap. Instead of me, it's Bentley sitting next to me, and now he freestyles for Ace Hood, and now he's on. Like, now Ace is like, yo, this dude cold.
Because Billy definitely has a catalog. Like, I mean, he got
it, bro. Like, he can really rap. You know what I'm saying? Or like Landon can really rap. Right. So like, put you in the situations where we're in. All it takes is one of those. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to be like, he's good. And with rap, it's totally different. It's completely different than singing. Like, REASN is on some pop, Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran.
What made him decide to go that route? like to stick to like the pop? Because he has an amazing voice. If you haven't heard REASN, kind of sounds like Miguel / Prince / Weeknd. This is just my opinions.
Yeah,
I can hear those.
I think for him it was just like a R&B's too easy for him.
So you don't think like he'll do any soul type tracks?
I think there'll be tracks, but like he's a genreless artist to me. There's no genre for him. You know what I'm saying? Like people have a hard time defining what he does because it's like, damn, this one sounds like this. Or this one sounds like this. Man, I ain't never heard nothing like this. If I play y'all some of the new stuff, you will understand. So like, damn, this is completely different than what I'm used to. But I think that's what it is. It's like it's boring for him. He could do Trey Songz stuff, but Trey Songz where's Trey Songz at right now? You know what I'm saying?
He's kind of going under the radar.
Where's
just to be honest,
where's
like,
anybody doing music like that going? They're not going nowhere. And if you think about it,
music is be kind of stagnant. I mean, it sounds like the same every time they release a project.
Who's really popping is those people who can be ubiquitous. They can be in any market, like Ed Sheeran.
You gotta be able
Ed
to flip
Sheeran
anything.
can do whatever.
He be rapping low key. Like you heard the album,
Right. He can rap.
Yeah.
He can do R&B. He can do pop. Yeah. Bieber dropped a whole R&B album. You know what I'm saying? But they can do anything. They can appeal to any audience, and that's what Trey can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what those guys
Trey
aren't.
got bars.
Trey does got bars.
Yeah, bars.
But when you a black R&B singer and you start rapping, it's just like, oh, okay. But can you do pop music? Trey can't. He hasn't shown that he can, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like real pop music. You know what I mean? So I think there's only a certain amount of guys who can cross over to any genre, and I think REASN's one of them, and that's why he makes the music that he does, and doesn't choose to just stick with R&B.
All right, bet. So we want to wrap up, but we don't want to go without letting you say something that's on your mind. So if there's anything specific you want the viewership to know, this is your chance to just go ahead and let them know anything that you're working on or any projects that you're involved in that you need somebody to know about.
I know you're doing like the training camps and stuff.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, we always do stuff for the kids. We actually have a toy drive and Christmas camp coming up December 22nd at the Boys and Girls Club. So definitely, yeah.
Right
if
on.
You can support.
Shout out to the Boys and Girls Club for letting us use that area.
No
you know
doubt.
what I mean?
So if you can support that, great. Besides that, man, it's just like if you got something you want to do, man, like don't let nothing hold you back from doing it. Like it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me to be a sports agent.
Right.
I've been broke for a long time. You know what I'm saying? People think this is like a rich man. Bro, I've been broke for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've come out of that, but I was in a very bad place. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, I've watched REASN, like, struggle. We're doing things, going on tour B.O.B. for 50 cities, and I'm watching them struggle. You know what I'm saying? But I've watched, you got to stay consistent, though. And you got persistent. You know what I mean? And, like, honestly, if you don't have faith, you're not going to make it. And a lot of people I see are playing it safe. Right. And you're not gonna make it like that, bro. Like you're gonna be 30, you're gonna be 35, and you're gonna still be making SoundCloud hits and going to Rose Music Hall.
He's just saying real
it's
stuff
just
right
facts.
now.
Like it's just facts. If you're not willing to go for it, whatever it is, whether it's you want to be a rapper, you want to be an agent, you want to be whatever you want to be, like whatever you're trying to, like you have to go for it 100%. Like the day I stopped doing anything else besides REASN and basketball was the day I started seeing real success. The day I cut my ties with the big agency was the day I started seeing more success. Like, you have to believe in yourself, you know what I mean? And you have to believe in what you really want to do and be willing to put the work in and be willing to hear no and to be willing to fail. Because if you're not, you're just not going to make it. Like,
yeah, you're going to make mistakes along the road for sure. I mean,
it ain't even a mistake. It's a learning
It's
lesson.
a learning process. I mean, the mistakes, you're going to look back at
when
the mistakes.
When you lose, you're like, damn, I lost. I learned so much, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, last year, I'm recruiting 5 first-round draft picks, didn't sign one of them.
Right.
But I was 100% independent. I did everything on my own, and I learned why I didn't get those guys. You know what I'm saying? And the FBI could have some things to say about that, because, you know what I'm saying, if y'all want to investigate why, there's some bags going around. But anyway, but I learned so much from that process, and I'm grateful for it, because now I'm in a position where I don't have an NBA guy, and I can go after the guy that I want and give him 100% of my focus. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just go for it. Like, that's all I got to say. I see your podcast is all about making it. I see that. Like, people trying to get there.
Right.
Just go, man.
Yeah.
Just go.
That's pretty much, I mean, Plain and Simple Show is definitely just about trying to help people in the Midwest expose their talent. So, I mean, this is the first entrepreneur episode. Yeah. You're a unique episode because you do NBA agent, managing in the industry, and then you do give back to the community with the training camps. So definitely, we appreciate all the advice and the time for sure.
And it was learning experience for us too, because honestly, I mean, some of the gems you was dropping.
Right.
I didn't even think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I done thought about it 150,000 different ways, and I'm like, damn, I'm still learning. So that's just a testament to what you were saying. Like, it's always a learning curve, a learning experience to this stuff. So. And
one of the quotes you had in the newspaper, I think you said, no matter where you go, you're just gonna still be a kid from Como. So I mean, even if you move out to LA or ATL or whatever, I mean, you're still gonna be.
You still from here, bro. Like you don't have to do it from here. You know?
Yeah, but you can still represent for sure.
And one more thing, I know, like we got
we on the internet, bro. This ain't like live TV. Like,
You know how many times we try to like keep an episode short, but it just goes like for hours. Just good conversation.
Since
good
the
content.
day you told me about this and I started watching, I thought about things I wanted to tell people, because like I just feel like it's so misguided with the guys from this area. And it's like, I see the talent, but there's so many different moves you can be making. Like, why spend the money on putting out an entire album, right? When you're not known, right? Why spend that money? Why not work on making 1 or 2 great songs, right? And now instead of putting that extra 2-3 racks that you're gonna put into making the rest of your album and then trying to market take one song and put 5-10 G's behind it. You go find somebody who works at Spotify, can put you on a playlist, right? Find a guy who works at SoundCloud, can put you on a playlist, right? Now your shit is booming.
Millions of people.
They're pushing it, right? So why not go that route, right? Instead of putting 5-10 grand into making an album, take that 5-10 grand into curating one song and turn that into the single that's gonna blow you up. Then you go make an album, right?
That's true.
You get 1 million views, now you popping. They waiting for the next one.
Do they go to a major label or try to stay independent?
I mean, it just depends on where you at. But like, if you got one song, I don't think. I mean, Anime, the kid. What's the song?
He got like
no.
Hey, real talk. It's a difficult name, but we know what you're talking about.
He's gonna disappear soon anyway. But like, the facts are, he got one song to pop.
If y'all wasn't ready, no filter.
Like, he's not gonna be here very long.
Yeah.
But like, he got one song to pop. Yeah. And that's what took him to the next level. He didn't spend 10 grand on this video. It's just him and his homie sitting on top of a car eating bananas and stuff. Like, it was really weird. But like, you don't have to spend a lot of money on videos. You don't have to spend a lot of money on anything. Get your records to the right people, right? Like, that's what you learn in LA. Like, I'm sitting down with the CEO of Spotify, and he's like, bro, the playlist is all you need to do. That's it. Send us the record. We'll put it on the playlist. Now, you might not be as blessed to be in a room with the CEO, but you can find another dude who works Spotify.
That's right.
Right? You give him 2 G's, and he's like, oh, I got you. Like, for 2 G's, at least 100,000 plays.
How you know you're getting the right contact? I mean,
you're going to get burned over and over and over.
That's what I was about to say.
But you learn, right?
Yeah.
And when you get out of Colombia.
That's a lot of money to be messing up, bro.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
The point that he was saying though, like if you got the 5 to 10 G's that you want to put behind a song,
right?
And let's say you are putting 2 G's to each person and saying they can put it on a playlist, you might get burned 4 times, but you had 10 G's you was gonna do that one person that got it to pop that was legit. That's your plug.
And that's way more valuable. That's way more valuable than spending 10 G's on an album or 8 G's on an album plus 4 on a video. Like that no one's gonna see.
The time it takes to do the album too.
Think about dudes spending 3-4 racks on a video and getting
no one watches
800 views.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Maybe 100.
What's the point, fam?
Yeah.
I'd rather have y'all shoot it on the iPhone and I just put it out there. Like,
shout out to the iPhone.
You know what I'm saying? Got
a couple Nikon skaters.
But
you know
got the iPhone.
There's so many more things you can do with your music and your video. Like, you don't have to have a video. If your song's not popping, a video does nothing for it.
Right. That's
plain and simple. So make your song. Right, plain and simple. Make your song pop, and then you decide if you need to make a video for it. But like, I'm just tired of seeing dudes just spinning the wheels.
Yeah,
no, that's real.
And then
that's real.
And then they just act like they know so much, and they just don't, bro. Like I'm tired of don't spin the wheels, man. Like just go, Stop spending stupid money. Like
yo, you should do a blog.
No, he's I talked
real, you should like vlog about this. Like y'all artists are dumb, bro. Like
I was talking on the phone with him, and he was like, "Man, I don't know, man. I just want to go in on people, man." I was just like, I was like, "Fam," I was like, "Yo, just get some advice." You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go in, but like, it's still giving the right advice. It's tough love. Right, all you giving is tough love.
But you know me, and that's me. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, and like they're in their craft or the way they've been going about it, but like. Especially, it's very frustrating when there's people that you have taken the time out to bring to LA and show this is what it could be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the moves you could be making. And you try to give advice, they don't follow. You know what I'm saying? And then you see other guys here. So those same people come back here and take the little bit that they got and try to give it to the next guy. Now he thinks he knows. Fam, you don't. You just don't, bro. Like, if you're not willing to sacrifice everything and go for this and move strategically, dudes aren't moving strategically here. They're just not.
It's not enough love going on here. And that's one thing. And then just the right moves.
Hold up. You said that to me. If Columbia artists supported each other, how do they not when they show up to Bentley? Everybody shows up to Bentley show. And everybody performs. Who don't show up?
If you're not, like, this is what I
The last 3 sold out, right?
They did. But here's what I'm noticing about artist collaboration in Columbia, right? Let's say I'm throwing a show and I put y'all 2 in it. Y'all might get one other artist and then all of y'all, like, so 5 fan bases show up. But every other artist in Columbia is like, why ain't I on the show? Why ain't I get the info?
That's what
why
I'm
I get put on the bill? I ain't telling nobody, I ain't posting. And it's spiteful.
Then them fools are whack and never gonna make it.
That's what I'm saying. Be in the front row, just me mugging.
Because like, real they'll show up and be like, shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shit, but it'd be 100, 200, 300.
Yeah, if we get a big Columbia circle jerk going on, everybody's gonna be satisfied in Columbia, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Like, think about all the artists from here who don't show REASN love, who don't repost when he drops a single.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's that 20,000 streams, more than that actually, but like in 2 days. With nobody from here reposting that or shout out to the fan base. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because we have the right people working for us in LA.
Right.
So that music is going worldwide.
And he just dropped a single though, right?
Yeah.
You want to get into that?
Magic. Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, get into that, yo. Apple Music, whatever you got. Like, but that's my point though. It's like, who cares?
That's true.
If somebody's not supporting you from here, you don't need that. That support ain't gonna help you. That support's not gonna help you.
So you don't think, so I'm gonna give you a hypothetical, because I'm feeling what you're saying, but let's say if our initiative of getting all these Midwest artists to kind of see that there's other people trying to help each other and yada yada, and we get everybody to really unify, that we can get a large enough base of people in the Midwest to be fucking with each other. Because the thing is, one thing we talked about with Evi is that part of the reason that the fan bases are so separate is because everybody's an artist. Right? So if all the artists then was just like, yeah, I'm fucking with you because you're an artist, I support that. Even though they're not on the bill, that spike goes away. So they'll support. If we can get every artist in the Midwest to do that, don't you think that will translate into, and that's a hypothetical. That's not realistic in my mind. Like, it's gonna take so much work.
I can see how that could work. I think what you're talking about is more a label management type thing where you bring people together where they're on the same family. Right? like
see the big picture.
Like what Sav was doing for a while,
exactly.
That was it. You know what I'm saying? But Sav obviously has other obligations now, but like what he was trying to do was that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it would take something like an initiative like that to happen to where you are being collected, where it is, oh, Savage Block is doing a show. So now you grab 8,000 people instead of 800. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand how that could work. But in the grand scheme of things, like Strange Music is selling out Blue Notes, right? But other artists are selling out Mizzou Arena. What do you want? I mean, success is all relative, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But what do you want as an artist, right? Do you want to be selling out the Blue Note, or do you want to be Drake and would sell out Mizzou, like the football stadium?
But would you say that some of that is your talent too, though? Because not everybody can be a good
Some dudes suck.
That's what I'm saying. So like, so if you had the system behind you and you could figure out a way to work the system to be the Tech 9.
If there's a system that could help the guy who's not as talented get into the Blue Note and get people to pay to come see him, then yes, for sure.
So unless you know that you're the Drake, You know what I'm saying?
Did
like
Drake even know he was a Drake at the time?
But I feel what you're saying. Like you go out there, you take that risk and find out if you're Drake. But if you find out you're not Drake, would it be smart to like, let's say you're, no disrespect to Landon, let's say it's Landon, right?
Right.
And he moves out to LA and finds out he's not the Drake.
Right.
Should he come back here and build the Tech 9 system? If you find out
he
you're
wants
not
to
the
wait
Drake.
till he's 40 to pop off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah, I feel
where
what
you
you're saying. I'm just
at?
trying to
Where
figure
you
out
at in it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're 18, 16, like some of these kids, I've heard some kids here, and I don't like the music at all, but I see the charisma. I see the charisma, and I see that they're building something. If you're 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see you doing a grassroots type of thing, right? But if you're older, there's only a certain window, unless you're going to keep rapping forever. You know, 2 Chainz is 50.
2 Chainz.
Yeah,
we listed off in the episode. It hasn't been released yet, but there was literally like 20 artists like are over 40.
Right.
And they're still popping. They're still,
exactly.
It can happen. Like Kanye didn't pop till Kanye didn't pop till he was 30.
Exactly.
50 Cent didn't pop off.
But
till
if
he was
Kanye
30.
was doing that grassroots though, he's gonna be that old.
Everybody
dude.
know him in Chicago.
He's gonna be that old dude rapping though. You know what I'm saying?
Plus,
like,
it's a different market when you're in Chicago, so it's also just a different beast. If you can do, I feel like you have more chances like major league success doing grassroots things in a major market.
chance.
Exactly. Or if let's
Prime
say,
example.
I mean, I don't know who would have done it from LA, maybe Kendrick, but like you grind in LA, grassroots, you still have a chance to pop and be the biggest thing in the world because you're already in a big market.
YG.
Being in Colombia, you can be grassroots all you want and never really translate that into.
That's why, like, what
major
you're saying.
things. So
would
I
have
feel
to-
what you're saying.
That would
And
have
this
to-
is a college town too, so literally, if you gain a fan base, 4 years it's gone. A lot of them are going to be gone in 4 years.
But to your point, that's why your platform would have to expand beyond Columbia, right? It had to be a true Midwest platform.
Yeah. Right.
But everybody's on the same accord, and that's just not without somebody coming in with real bread. And it's like, I'm gonna support y'all. I'm picking you 10 to be the representatives between these Midwest states, and I have X amount of millions of dollars to like, okay, we're gonna push this. We're gonna push. I don't know how it's gonna work because you're just gonna have dudes butting heads.
So what's
with
gonna
ideas.
happen is Diddy's gonna hit the phone. You know what I'm saying? Midwest up next, the record label, plain and simple division for the region.
that
you know what
can
I'm saying?
happen.
Like it's gonna pop.
Because really-
shout out to Diddy with the bag, Revolt TV. You know what I
Did he
mean?
bring the bag?
We
know what I'm saying?
really need like the artists from the Midwest to shine, man, because there's plenty of states that you don't hear no artists like big artists like
But-
Iowa,
But my thing is
Minnesota.
like, how
and shit like
but
that, yeah.
touching Diddy's not impossible.
No, I know.
It's
yeah.
impossible from here though.
Right.
And that goes
Gotta
back
be
to
in
my
New York.
point of why are you not in LA? Where Revolt headquarters are.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
I thought they were in New York.
Every Revolt thing I've ever been to has been right there in
that's
LA.
why-
I
Like,
have a question for
I'm
you.
sure
I do
you
have a
would
question
know,
for
yeah.
you.
I'm sure they have offices in both places, but like they have, I mean, you can go to Runyon Canyon and run into somebody who works at Revolt. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just be at Starbucks and run into somebody who works for Revolt. And now you get closer. You know what I'm saying? But staying here, what y'all gonna do? Keep sending emails? I ain't get read.
I do have a question for you. How important are investors to the local artists or independent artists? Can you tell people, look, give some advice there?
You got to have some bread behind you.
How
You gotta have
do
bread
you get investors? Like,
Man, that's hard, bro.
but that's like one of the
That's
biggest things.
really, really hard.
That's that money machine that
You
you're
gotta
talking
have a
about.
product that people want to hear. Like somebody like Bentley. Bentley could get investors from right here in Columbia.
By the way, we need Bentley on the
Easy.
show.
Easy. You
Yeah.
bring, okay, I gotta be careful what I say. You bring a certain person from a certain background to a good vibe show and say, this is what I did. And you blow their mind. Like, what? And you're the headliner and then you get up there and you kill it and everybody's singing all your songs? Bro, I got 20 G's for you right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Yeah.
You build it for all the guys that are here now that want to do that and get an investor. Do what Bentley did and murder your location, right? And then you go. You gotta move though. You gotta be in the right places. You gotta meet the right people with type of bread or whatever. But you bring them to show them what you can really do, and you wow them. People who invest, they're not scared to lose the money, and they understand that they want to be a part of something. Make them feel a part of something. So when you do a good vibe show, and this is my show. This is my show. Right. I'm gonna bring you with me. Watch this, and you give them that experience of this is what it's like as Fuego Bentley, and they feel a part of that. So when the groupies run up to Bentley, yo, this is my man, so and so. right?
That's right.
That's all these dudes with bread want to do. Like, they made their money through real estate. That's boring. But you know what? Going backstage with Bentley and, you know what I'm saying, being on the side of the stage when he's performing, that's fun.
Yeah.
Here's 20 racks, bro. I believe you're going to make it pop. That's how I see it working.
Is there a timeline on repaying that back, or how does that work?
That's gonna have to come down to how you work the situation.
Yeah, it depends on how your business
Because
shops are.
some people might just be like, I wasn't expecting to get it back. Some
you,
people say that. Some people be like, I wanted it back in 3 years.
Most people who are gonna invest money like that aren't worried about the return, right? But you eventually gonna have to figure out something to pay them back. But they know that you're not going to make your money back immediately. And it's gonna 20 racks, that's gonna go real quick. Now we need another 20 racks, right? So you have to go investor here, investor here, investor here, investor here, like different people putting in, but you just gotta go. And as long as you show progress, I think you keep your people happy enough to where they're like, okay, this is getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now instead of doing 500, now we're doing Blue Note, we're doing 900. Oh, that's progress. You know what I'm saying? We made X amount of dollars on that. Cut, boom. Like, but REASN, man, without our investors that we've had, it wouldn't be where it's at.
Shout out to the investors.
Man, you mind sticking around for a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna bring our next guest in. So we're gonna have Byron Bundy and Tony J in the next episode. Y'all gonna get both of them. We're gonna continue the conversation because this is all just wisdom, man. We really appreciate you coming in. Yeah. But I feel bad because we outside. When am I gonna get on the camp? You know what I'm saying? So let's bring it all together and then we'll catch y'all next episode. All right?
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. So gems.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, that was
gems. We needed that though.
Yeah,
we needed that. For real. I still ain't got comfortable with this fucking dude.
Bro, you about to learn how to do this intro.